High above the clouds, there was a kingdom that could never fall, a kingdom that had floated in the sky for over 1,000 years, protected by ancient magic, untouchable, unbreakable, until one morning the people looked down and realized the clouds were getting closer, because for the first time in history, the floating kingdom was falling. Welcome to Dreamy Storyland, where magical kingdoms, mysterious powers, and unforgettable adventures come to life. If you enjoy fantasy stories like this one, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends to support more magical tales. Now, let's rise into the sky. Far above the mountains, hidden beyond the reach of ordinary eyes, floated a magnificent kingdom called Aetheria, was unlike any other place. Its castles hovered in the air, supported by glowing crystal pillars. Bridges stretched between floating islands. Waterfalls poured endlessly into the sky below, disappearing into clouds. The people of Aetheria had lived in the sky for generations. They believed their kingdom was eternal because at the heart of Aetheria was a powerful artifact known as the Sky Core, a glowing crystal that kept the entire kingdom floating. And the guardian of that power was Princess Lyra. Princess Lyra had always felt a deep connection to the Sky Core. As a child, she would sit beside it for hours, watching its soft blue light pulse like a heartbeat. The royal scholars often said the princess and the Sky Core are connected. But no one truly understood how Lyra wasn't like other royals. She loved exploring the edges of the floating islands. She listened to the wind. She watched the clouds, and sometimes she felt like the sky itself was trying to speak to her. One quiet morning, something strange happened. Lyra stood on her balcony, watching the endless sea of clouds below. But something felt wrong. The clouds looked closer than usual. At first, she ignored it, but as the day passed, whispers spread across the kingdom. The islands feel lower, the bridges are shifting, the wind feels heavier. By evening, the truth became impossible to deny. Aetheria was descending, slowly but steadily. The royal council gathered immediately. Scholars rushed to examine the Sky Core. But something was terribly wrong. The crystal's glow had weakened. Its light flickered like a dying flame. The Sky Core is losing power, one scholar said. If it fails, the kingdom will fall. Fear spread through Aetheria. For the first time in centuries, the people realized they were not as safe as they believed. That night, Princess Lyra returned to the Sky Core chamber. She placed her hand gently against the crystal. It felt weak, cold. Then suddenly a vision flashed before her eyes. She saw the past, ancient rulers, a time when the kingdom was not always in the sky, and a truth that had been hidden for generations. The Sky Core was not just a source of power, it was a balance. It required harmony between the kingdom and the world below. But over time, Aetheria had become isolated, disconnected. The balance had been broken, and now the sky was letting them fall. Lyra knew what she had to do. But it was forbidden. No one from Aetheria had traveled to the ground for hundreds of years. The surface world was considered dangerous, unknown. But if the balance was broken, she needed to restore it. Lyra made her decision. She would go to the world below. Using an ancient sky vessel, Lyra descended through the clouds. The journey was terrifying. Storms surrounded her. Lightning flashed across the sky. The higher she fell, the faster the kingdom above her seemed to sink. Finally, she reached the ground. The world beneath the clouds was completely different. Dense forests, flowing rivers, wild landscapes, untouched by sky magic. Lyra felt something she had never experienced before. Gravity pulling her firmly to the ground. And strangely, she felt more alive than ever. Deep in the forest, Lyra encountered an ancient figure, a guardian, an old being who had watched over the balance for centuries. "You have come from the sky," the guardian said. Lyra nodded. "Our kingdom is falling. The sky core is dying." The guardian looked at her carefully. "It is not dying," he said. "It is reacting. You forgot the world below. You took from the sky, but gave nothing back." The guardian explained the sky core was powered by connection. The sky and the earth were meant to exist in harmony, but Aetheria had separated itself, closed itself away, and now the magic that held it up was fading. "There is only one way to save your kingdom," the guardian said. "You must restore the balance." Lyra returned to Aetheria as quickly as she could, but the situation had worsened. The kingdom was falling faster now. Buildings trembled, bridges cracked, clouds rushed past at terrifying speed. Panic filled the air. Lyra ran to the sky core chamber, standing before the fading crystal. Lyra knew what had to be done. She placed her hand on the sky core, and instead of taking its power, she gave something back. She released her own connection to the sky, her energy, her bond, her trust. The crystal began to glow again, brighter, stronger. The falling slowed, then stopped. Aetheria stabilized in the sky. But something had changed. The kingdom no longer floated far above the world. It now hovered closer to the earth, connected, balanced. Bridges were built between sky and ground. People traveled freely between both worlds, and for the first time in history, the Sky Kingdom was no longer alone. Princess Lyra became known as the ruler who saved Aetheria, not through power, but through understanding. She didn't just stop the fall, she changed the future of the kingdom forever. And that is the story of the floating kingdom that was falling. If you enjoyed this magical journey, don't forget to like the video. Subscribe to Dreamy Storyland. Share this story with your friends. Because here, every story takes you somewhere beyond imagination. Until the next magical adventure.